Hey Red, Sam from United People's TV here with a fan's view. Your thoughts on that 1-0 win over Watford on Wednesday night? Not the best performance from Man United, but 3 points all the same. Let's get straight to it. We've sent out a tweet asking for your views on it, and you sent us a reply, so we're going to run through them now. First one here from Ruiner at Copy of One said, awful performance, almost as bad as the second half versus PSV. Now, it was a pretty bad performance. You're looking at Daley Blind, looked like he was drunk. The players couldn't really string a pass together. Watford were pressing very, very high. Great pressure from them, and actually quite a good away performance from them. Maybe they'll feel hard done by not to come away from that with the draw. But won't matter. Came in at the end when it really mattered. And it just made all of the difference. It was one moment of class in a game which was overall quite mediocre for Man United. There were fleeting 5-10 minute periods, but overall, Watford were in control. I don't think anybody expected that after Arsenal the weekend. It was the Arsenal game that was surprising, and we thought we would continue that momentum of form into this game. We didn't really, but we came away with 3 points, and that's all that matters. Second one here from Ben_Taylor Ben said Watford were brilliant. Pressing game was so impressive, but not complaining. Again, I've got to commend Watford on how they played. They came with a game plan. As soon as they knew that we were going to try and play the ball out from the back, as we always do, and we had Fosu Mensah making his debut. We had Varela at right back, and we had quite a young team. Rojo was only starting his second game after coming back from injury, so the players weren't completely in their rhythm, as Louis van Gaal would say, and Watford tried to press that and make that an advantage, and I thought they did. I thought they pressed extremely well, made it hard for United to play football, and we didn't really. As you saw, they stifled us for the majority of the game. But I'll go back to it. It was that one moment of class from Mata, and it goes to show that that's why you keep players like him on, just for that individual moment. Third one here from AG at Forever Man United. He said, I love me some Juan Mata, but you have to give it to De Gea for keeping us in the game. Yes, De Gea again, as he has done on so many times this season, so many times over the last 3 years. His saves kept us in the game. There was a couple of moments where Watford were clean through. De Gea fills you with so much confidence as a fan when he's in a one-on-one situation. It must be what the players think as well when they're coming up against De Gea in a one-on-one. They're thinking, shit, it's De Gea. Balls, Nate. There was a couple of cracking saves he made last night. He always makes himself big. He always keeps himself low to the ground so he can't get nutmegged. I love De Gea, and I hate to think what's going to happen in the summer when we're stuck with speculation again, because it's not going to be fun. Next one here from Aubrey Reid at Aubrey Reid 86. Thanks, Aubrey. Said felt like the old days. Play crap but get a vital 3 points. That was one of Sir Alex Ferguson's greatest traits and habits as a manager. Is that even when we were playing shit, we somehow turned that into a win. And turning those games where you should be drawing or potentially losing into wins is what genuinely drives momentum. I think you can have that Arsenal game of the weekend was fantastic. There's a huge win. Everyone will be buzzing after that. But a gritty win we're not going to be champions this year, but that is the stuff of champions. That's the sort of games you put in. Well, you look back on it and say, well, we played pretty shit that game, but we came through it. And that was what Watford was. And especially with City, Arsenal and Spurs all losing, we took advantage of that last night. And it would have been a real shame had we not. Especially if we're trying to get top four. Now we're level on points with City. Yes, they have a game in hand, but we play them in 2 weeks. That derby's going to be big. Another one here from D. Said, at Mbar Ditto. The only matter is we win it when the others lose. Exactly the point I just made there, mate. One here from Tedgy_Dylan09. Sometimes the most crucial wins are the off-day ones. Certainly need Schweinsteiger, Carrick back for such games for control and tempo. Yes and no, I'm not sure. I don't think Carrick would have changed too much in there. I think he's been a bit off when he's played in midfield in the last few games, and then obviously even worse when he's played in centre-back. I think Schneiderlin and Herrera is a cracking central midfield partnership, and I wouldn't want to break that up for Schweinsteiger and Carrick. Maybe I'm being harsh, let me know in the comments, but I think that Schneiderlin and Herrera partnership has got so much energy about it that Schweinsteiger and Carrick wouldn't be able to. I think Schweinsteiger's the sort of player you want to bring on. Maybe that's what he's getting towards. You bring Schweinsteiger on for the last 15-20 minutes to slow it down, and real focus on possession. Maybe that would have been a smart move, but we don't have him. He's not fit. Another one here from Fayan JM Pulmano, at Fayan Pulmano. We were shite, but our team was full of academy graduates, and in the end, only the results matter. Now, if you looked at our starting 11 last night, I sent a tweet out before the game. Juan Mata was, I believe, our oldest player on the pitch at 27. You had De Gea 25, Rojo 25, Blind 25, Varela 22, Fosu Mensah 18, Schneidlin 26, Herrera 26, Mata 27. Then you had Martial, who was 20. You had Memphis, who was 21, 22. And then he had Marcus Rashford, who's 18. That's phenomenal. There's so many young players playing. Did that affect the performance? I don't really think so. I just think the players weren't comfortable on a windy night with so many games coming so thick and fast. They couldn't find their rhythm. Mata bailed us out of it. But it's, for all of his faults, Louis van Gaal as a manager, it is so exciting to see what he's doing with the kids and bringing them through into the team at the moment. Yes, it's been forced out of circumstance with injury, etc. But you still got to commend him for what he's doing, and I'm loving it. Fosu Mensah as well. I watched him at the Aegon Future Cup back before we signed him when he was playing for Ajax. That was the tournament why we signed him, because our scouts watched him and said, you know what, that Tim kid, bring him in. Then he's been dominating. He just stands out. Under 18s, under 19s, under 21s, he looks bigger and better than the players around him. And that's the sort of trait of somebody you know is ready for the first team earlier than normal. Felt the same thing about Paul Pogba. Not comparing the two, but I can see the similarities in how above the opposition they were at lower levels. Fosu Mensah is definitely ready for first team football, that's all I'm saying. Final one here, actually no, a couple more. One here from Daniel Pountney. Blind was awful. Blind was awful. He had a very, very off day, and he got bailed out by Timothy Fosu Mensah on more than one occasion. And Van Gaal admitted it after the game. He said Fosu Mensah saved us with his speed and his positioning. I've got to give huge credit to Fosu Mensah for his debut, because he got a yellow card early on. He was a bit overeager, came in through the back of I think it was Deeney, and he got a yellow card for it. And we're thinking, 18-year-old centre-back on a yellow card early. But after that, he showed so much maturity in maybe just taking it one or two steps back, staying in the position a little bit more, not going so aggressive as a defender. And you just saw how accomplished he can be at 18 in his full debut. It's fantastic. And on the opposite hand, Blind was just all over the place. He couldn't seem to string a pass together as the player who has been arguably one of our best players this season in terms of his consistency. And passing out from the back is normally what he does. That's his bread and butter. But he just couldn't do it against Watford. And that was a little bit concerning. I think maybe he's getting a little bit tired. Maybe we'll see him rested for the West Brom game, especially if Smalling's back anyway. Final one here from Mohsin. At Mohsin, he said, play the kids forever. That's the final one. Now, United season, a couple of weeks ago, it was completely dead and buried. In the past 4 games, we've revived it. And we've revived it through youth. It all started with Shrewsbury. We had a young team playing there. And we pulled out performance. But it was the Midtjylland game which switched it all up. You had Memphis tearing it up. You had Marcus Rashford scoring 2. And everyone's like, what's going on here? And then we pulled that into the Arsenal game. And Marcus Rashford did it again. Old Trafford went absolutely mad that day. It was the best Old Trafford atmosphere I've seen in a long time. And then we carried that into last night. We had our front four, was the most exciting front four I've seen in a long time. We had Mata, Memphis, Martial and Rashford. That's an electric front four. And Mata's really coming into his own in that number 10 role and really starting to show the sort of form that we hoped he'd show at the start in his favoured position, go figure. But for all the shit we've had this season, we seem to have been, throw caution to the wind, play the kids. Yes, it's come out of circumstance, and had we not had as many injuries, I doubt we would have seen a lot of these players make their debuts. But it's happened. And things happen for a reason. And for all of Louis van Gaal's flaws, I do love the fact that he's bringing through all these kids. Fosu Mensah, one in particular, because I really, really like him. And, when a player is that good and mentally that good at that age, they get itchy feet quicker, just like Pogba did and we know what happened there. It's good, man. Just let the kids play. Just keep the kids there. And I'm not sure what's going to happen once we get Schweinsteiger, Carrick, all our players come back from injury. Let me know in the comments below whether you think Van Gaal will stick with this youth or switch back to his seniors. Because with the youth, it's a bit of a win-win situation for United. I don't think we've got much to play for this season. We're chasing a top 4 spot. You know, fuck it, just play the kids. The kids have shown us in these last couple of weeks how exciting football can be with this current Man United squad under Louis van Gaal. Why not keep that momentum and keep that going? Because as we've shown the last 4 games, it can make a huge difference. 10 games left in the Premier League season now. We're level on points in 4th with City, who have a game in hand. Everything to play for. We've still got to play City, Spurs and Leicester, who are all above us. And we beat Arsenal, who are above us. So who knows what can happen in these last 10 games. Drop a like on the video as always. That's it for today's Fans View. Thank you everybody for sending in your Fans View. It makes a world of difference. And thank you all for getting involved. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to United People's TV if you are new. And we'll see you soon. We've got West Brom on Sunday. So hopefully we can make it 5 out of 5 in the last games. Take it easy, Reds. You know, you had Timothy Fosu Mensah making his debut. I actually thought he played pretty well for a person making his debut.